when people are not open-minded, that gets me annoyed. I understand if someone's like really pro-uni, pro-education, etc. But if you can't see for X person's life journey
future,
that it doesn't make sense, I feel like you're an idiot.
People would be saying, how can they support the channel? Chiso, buy Chiso. I've got tops, got hoodies, I've got the Dragon Ball Z tees, like the Pain and Full Star tees. You lot could support, buy some of the merch. I'll be able to churn out more content. This one, I'm just waiting by myself for the moment, and I'll bring out more colors. Please support.
It became very apparent to me over time that more so than balancing my time, it was getting harder to motivate myself to do uni. Okay. Because although I always did well in school, I'm actually never like a really academic person. Okay. I don't really enjoy just sitting down and reading. I don't really enjoy just sitting down in a classroom. Okay. I much prefer doing things that are active, doing things that are creative, things like that. But I tolerated it and I was good at it. Yeah. So that was that. But when it came to uni now, and especially as my channel was going well, and I never saw uni as really going to help me. It was more a thing of like, I can, so I might as well. And you know what, cool, it'll give me a backup. It was just becoming so hard to motivate myself because I didn't have a why. In all my previous stages, there'd been a why, like cool, sixth form, I need to get AAB to get into Loughborough. So, you know, you just got to do it. Now come to uni, there's no real why.
What did you get in sixth form?
I got AAB. So, like,
and you're claiming you don't think you're smart, you don't think you're intelligent.
No, but to be honest, I'm gonna be real.
You're getting
like
all nines, you're doing AAB.
That AAB was kind of lower for me, you know, because getting all nines, my predictors are all like A stars and that. But when it came to sixth form, I kind of slacked off from the school because I was doing so many other things.
Okay.
Like with Gymshark, like 3 days before my first exam, one of my first exams, like for my A-levels, I went to some Gymshark event on the Friday, like before and stuff like that. I was balancing it. So to be honest, I was happy with getting AAB considering all the stuff I was doing as well. But for me, like, although AAB, obviously they're good grades, my predictors are all A stars. So
was education big in your home in regards to like your parents? Did they push you towards education?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
They did. See, my parents never done crazy in school. My dad's really smart, but when it came to school for him, he wasn't putting in the work back then.
Can we talk about what your parents do?
Yeah.
What does your mum do for?
So my mum works at school.
Okay, so
and my
teacher.
Teacher assistant. And my dad is like a CIO. So you know, like universities, they'll have like, say like an IT director.
Okay.
The guy above that who like manages like all the IT and also
all the systems
like,
and everything.
Yeah, all the systems. That's what my dad does.
So you're coming from an educational background.
Yeah.
Your mum's a teacher. Your dad's sort of in the sort of IT computer industry. So you come from quite an educational.
Yeah, but they both went the roundabout way of doing that, especially with my dad. Like, his job requires a degree which he doesn't have. He only gets the jobs off the merit of the experience that he has. Yes. And also the fact that he is genuinely like a really intelligent guy, but just when it came to school, he just didn't. Like, that's probably the case for quite a lot of people. Yeah. Part of the reason why some guys don't do well in schools because it's not they're not smart, they're not agreeable. So if you tell them to do something like sit down and shut up, they're gonna be like, why? Like, I don't want to do that. And obviously that interferes with it. So it's not that you're not smart, it's just that you're not agreeable. And that's the case. Like, guys are less agreeable than girls in general. So the people who are probably like, a lot of guys out there that are probably genuinely really smart, when it came to school, didn't do that well. But then when you get older, you kind of realize that there's other ways to be successful other than just school.
100%. And is that why let's get to university now. So because I asked you a question, you started doing politician. You went around the houses to answer my question. I said, you started uni, are you still in uni?
No.
Okay. And the reason I'm just gonna put it straight out there. You don't need to be in uni anymore.
No.
And the field that you're in, you don't need university to do the field you're in. No. Sometimes people are studying degrees which they don't need to study.
Exactly.
And I think you made the smart decision. Not saying that we don't need university. If you're going to be a doctor, don't do experience with me. Can you go to university and study how to do open heart surgery? But with what you're doing, I think it's a smart decision you ever made because you don't need a degree in sports science, was it?
Sport exercise, yeah. Because it's like, how do I explain it? What I'm doing is to try to get me to so people that come out of uni with sport and exercise science, a lot of them then go and try to make it in the fitness industry. Like, I'm almost already kind of there. So I'd be going back a step.
No, don't be modest. You're there.
Okay, I'm
there.
there.
Give your flowers before you're there.
You know what's crazy? When you dropped out, I was like, remember I said once the October video went up, a bunch of videos, I was like, this guy's gonna drop out. Yeah. But when you did it, I was like, well done, because
I had a lot of people, so I respect everyone, yeah? But if someone can't see that, when people are not open-minded, that gets me annoyed. So I understand if someone's like really pro-uni, pro-education, etc. But if you can't see for X person's
Long-term
life journey
future.
that it doesn't make sense, I feel like you're an idiot. Because yeah, cool. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a vet, if you want to be a dentist, cool. Go uni. You need to. If there's other jobs you want to do where the university degree is held in really high esteem, cool. Do that. But then there's also another set of jobs that don't require it. It doesn't help at all. So all you're doing is getting in debt and almost wasting 3 years. And that's what it would have been for me.
Yeah.
So I made a video about my kind of decision a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I did ask people.
That's a lie detector, basically. So carry on. So.
I was confused.
It's over here.
I was thinking that.
Don't listen to him.
When I made this video, yeah, I'd had a lot of people obviously saying what I was doing was correct, and also a lot of people saying what I was doing was dumb. But the reasons they were given were just a bit stupid. They were like, oh, like uni is like a fundamental for success in life. That is dumb.
Yeah,
that statement is dumb.
That is poppycock.
I got a sport and exercise degree. Sport and exercise science degree.
Yeah. How much do you use that now?
It does nothing to my life. Remember my page, my Insta back 014, it was booming.
Yeah.
Sim, everyone was all, you know what I mean, around each other. So my page was booming. When I went to uni, we stopped chucking out content.
Yeah. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So when you dropped out, I was just like, you know what?
Yeah. The thing is, you were right though, because you were saying October. October when I was having the first kind of thoughts about it. Because October is when my channel started going crazy again. And then, like, I was having my best months, like, financially and stuff. And
that's when you
start like making like pretty much like big money, yeah.
So what's going? Can we talk about this money, please? This is
what do you want me to
put in the channel? You already put it out, so you might as well say it.
Might as well say it.
You might as well say the money that month.
Because what is the reason why I'm impressed by you is because you're under 21.
Yeah.
And I know you're trying to be modest and be humble, which is good because everyone likes modesty and humility. But you know, you said you're almost made it in the fitness industry. That's poppycock. You're cemented in there.
Fine, yeah.
You got number 2 in the
There's
British,
no almost.
what was it? British?
Number 2 in
British University,
yeah, British University Championship, yeah. And the guy that beat me was 24.
Okay, and how old was you at the time? He was
19.
So that guy had 5 years on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just give you accolades. Sponsored by Gymshark, which is probably one of the biggest gym apparel clothing.
My Protein as well
in the world. My Protein sponsors you as well. You've got an app which you're doing right now. So when did this app start, and how did people subscribe to your app, and how do you make money from the app?
Also, the app started in April, but I actually started having talks to that company in December. Basically, long story short, I was doing training plans, and they were doing well. But
how much are you selling them for? 'Cause I'm going to keep interrupting when I want people to know things.
So they ranged from £15 to £30.
No problem.
Then the company approached me in December saying that basically I could house my app like basically within their app. They would do all the stuff for me, all the running. All I'd have to do is the leg work at the beginning, and then we split it 80-20.
80 in your favour?
My favour.
Okay. And
so that's good, but you know a lot of people like apps are a very long process, and the startup money for them, a lot of companies ask you for about 10 grand just to start up, and you don't even know if you're gonna make money off of that yet. So to put 10 grand. How
many people subscribe to your app now?
So it depends. It goes up and down. Like I have in my app roughly like between like it will be anywhere between 100 and something and then 200. Like it depends.
So let's call it 120 people.
Yeah.
And how much is it to be on an app monthly?
$14.99.
Okay, so you can just do the maths. Those who are watching.
Yeah. But like, okay, cool. I'll be real. So cool. Like this, let's say November. Yeah, when I'm in uni. Yeah, I think I made around £11,000 that month, and I was like,
that's good business.
Yo,
that's good business.
Because that was a combination of cool, like my salaries, like Gymshark, my YouTube, and then my training plans. So basically, like my app hasn't caught up to my training plans yet because I'd had training plans for about 3 years, and then
you're 19.
Yeah, but I started in 2019. Started in 2019.
Oh yeah,
with training plans.
The part you mentioned about Natalie.
So yeah, so this girl Natalie Barnett, yeah,
that's dope.
She still does her thing in the industry now, but at the time, I just started speaking to her a bit on Snap. And she was doing that thing in fitness, and she was selling like girls like booty guides type thing. And at the time, A, there was like no one my age in the industry, and B, they definitely weren't doing training plans. So she basically taught me how to make training plans, how to make them look really nice and stuff at the time. So all the way back in 2019, I'd had like really good training plans. In fact, the 2 I made then were my best selling ones up until a couple months ago when I locked it off. And so by 2020. Some of them, like some months, it'd be like £3,000 just from the training plans, and that's passive.
Is it fair to say that Natalie Is it fair to say that Natalie was a bit of a catalyst to your whole
Oh
movement?
no, 100%.
And that's what I always mention about women. And I always
100%.
mention about how vital and critical women are when it comes to business and marketing. Women are so
like
important.
she was a friend. Like at the time, obviously you got to realize that she's older than me as well, like, etc. She was just a friend. It wasn't like I was with her or nothing. Literally just a friend, and she properly helped me out. So I have to. And I never actually really talked about that, you know, until last week. So I need to give a shout out to her because I wouldn't be where I was without her.
How important of a catalyst women are when it comes 100%. To men in business. Very, very important.
Yeah.
So you're doing your plans. You've got the app.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we actually now? So you're now 19. What is the focus? And also I want to know, you're making quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you putting this money? What are you investing? Are you just spunking it? What are you doing? Because once again, you're 19.
Yeah.
I want to know people to know, like, at your age, that there are other avenues. So are you trying to look to get into property? Have you tried to invest in stocks and shares? Where's your head at right now?
Stocks is one of the things I'm getting a bit more into because obviously the crypto market is big, but I have enough risk appetite for what I do because it's based on social media, which can go up and down. I don't need extra risk on top of that in terms of tracking my portfolio. It's gone down by 20% today. I don't need that. So more getting into stocks. I've got some of my boys that do trading quite heavily, so we're sorting some stuff out. Also, like my YouTubes, most months I will either save all of it or about half of it.
Okay.
Because of my my YouTube, because it goes kind of up and down sometimes, because based on everything, your views, the ad rate at the time of year, Christmas, the ad rate goes up, booming, because it's all to do with advertisement. Obviously, all companies put the bulk of their salary, put the bulk of their money into advertising around Christmas. 'Cause that's what people are buying. So Christmas is business is booming, but so YouTube in particular, I make sure to put a good percentage of that away every single month. But then also, when it comes to content creation, money that you spend is like, it's almost a good thing.
Okay.
When it comes to so do you know who HS Tiki Toki is? He's been making crazy money in his training plans, yeah? Okay. And you know, you're talking about training plans, like, why did I switch? I switched because, they were making good money, but they're less scalable. Because you need to keep getting new customers every single month. Although my app is making me less than my training plans were now, it's got more potential because I'm getting that money every single month.
I went straight into app.
Exactly.
That
was good to diversify because you still got the plans and you still got the app.
I took the plans off the website.
Oh, you took them off completely now. So it's literally focused on the app.
But and also because I've got maybe about 5 income streams right now. Because I had the other ones.
Can you mention them?
Okay, so I've got my YouTube revenue. I've got 3 different salaries from 3 different companies.
Okay,
Gymshark, My Protein, and this other one, Hardbody. My friend Brandon Harden is like fitness accessories. And then I've got my app. And then you could say part of them is commission as well.
A lot of people will say their products are their environment, but looking at what you produced, this doesn't seem to be correct about being products of your environment. So explain how you've managed to get minds into
question. Would you think being in sports early helped distract you from joining all the madnesses?
Definitely, but I think more so than that, just having strong parents. Like, a lot of people, you're going to be influenced regardless. No matter who you are, you're going to be influenced. It's just a matter of who you're being influenced by. Yeah. If your parents have enough of a foot in your life to where, like, they're the ones that are influencing you, and that's just it, then you're going to be less swayed by different things, your friends telling you this, people telling you that. But like when it came to school, there was always people around me doing a lot of stuff, not all illegal, etc. Even like as young as year 7, I had friends selling weed and etc. and things like that. And then even I could have got sucked in because there was times like at school, you know, when it came to, you're talking about how important girls are, but girls can also be a lot of stress, man, because I think they must have told one of the girls or something like that. The girl goes and tells one of the teachers, and then now the teachers are looking for one of my friends because he's selling weed in school. He comes to me, yo, Nathaniel, can you hold this for me? I was actually gonna do it, but I actually didn't end up having to do it. But regardless, one of the big things for me at the time was, I remember how much stress that day at school was, Then I remember him saying, him find out he sold it for £5. I was like, bro, all that stress at school for £5?
Yeah.
£5? I was like, this is dead. Like, after that, there was no chance of me ever getting sucked in. Maybe before that, you know, being like maybe 12 years old, there's a little, but after that point, I was like, that stress at school for £5, that's dead. I'm never.
Would it be fair to say that, as Chizo alluded to, that you found your lane in fitness, and therefore you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that the notoriety that a lot of young boys want for maybe being on the street or being bad, you got that from being in the gym? So you was ready
Yeah.
He was already building some kind of a character and was already getting known and getting recognition because of that.
See, so there's some guys in the industry that are a bit weird, and I partially think it's because they were like almost a nobody before, and now their whole personality is wrapped up in this guy. Me, I was actually calm before. I could chat to girls. I was, popular at school.
You could chat to girls.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it in there. I could chat to
them. Like you in school.
Fair bit.
You were my the girl, them
I'm saying
sugar.
that. But like, some guys are weird. But back in the day, I was always calm. So when it came to that, like, I was already like fairly well liked. Just for what I was doing.
You're athletic?
Yeah,
the
athletic.
Girls apparently liked you. So
a little bit. So I've got a little brother, right? And he's now trying to do this bad man thing, and he's like 12 years old. But he's not that guy. He's really not that guy. But
he's got you as an older brother. I don't know your ins and outs, but you appear to be a perfect role model as an older brother.
Yes, but
why is he not looking at you and thinking, I can see Nathaniel and the steps he's taking, and why is he trying to go that way?
Because I think he's easily influenced. He's not actually trying to do the bad man thing, but it's like the image he's presented of himself, trying to buy Bally's and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I told my mum to take his money. I don't know, why did you let him buy it? Like, why? I was like, bro, you're not Pooh Shicey, like, what are you doing? But yeah, so I tried to explain to him, like, I literally sat him down the other day and I was like to him, like, yo, like, you see me having a Mercedes now at 19, you see all this stuff. Part of it is all because I focused and did my work in school. And all of those guys who were around my age, cool, they were getting girls at the time because, that was lit at the time. They're all washed now. Yeah. None of them, they're all doing the same thing they were before. 5 more years, half them gonna be dead or in prison. So what, like, don't look at these guys like, cool, you've got me as a brother, you can see what I did. I told them, just do what I did. You don't have to do exactly fitness, but
copy the model.
You've got a good, like, I've got an older sister, but growing up, I was almost like always the older brother, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And again, it's a sister. So I never had like a brother who I could look. I had good male role models in my life, but I never had a brother who I could just have as that archetype.
Yeah.
But my brother's also 7.5 years younger than me. So also now when he's in school, I'm at uni. Half the time I might even be out the country. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been trying to explain to him, because like even little things like getting in fights and etc. I'm like, yo, like, you're in secondary school now. Like, it's not like primary school, things escalate. You have a fight in school, oftentimes you don't stop in school. I might not even be in the country. Plus, I'm not dying over your stupid self. So, do you know what I'm saying? You need to pattern up. So
it's hard though, because you sit there as an older brother and think, I put all of these things in place. There's nothing your brother can ask for you in reason that you wouldn't give to him. So there's
that's a problem though when you think of it, because also my parents were far ahead. Well, my dad in particular was far less ahead in his career when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I felt like everything was just normal. We didn't go on holiday often. The normal semi-detached house, 2 bedrooms, 1 box room, that type of stuff. Just normal, like normal. Now, when we moved to our new house, my dad starts making a bit more money, etc. Start going on holiday more often. And then as soon as I've been making more money than my mum since I was about 17. Yeah. So now with my brother,
image.
If he wants,
I'm just
trying to explain.
No, like, I want people to look at you and look at you as an archetype of what they can
I'm
be.
just trying to explain, like. So now my brother, if he wants trainers,
anything you can have it.
He can come to me for like on his birthday. Like when I was young, we weren't getting. Again, it was normal. Now he's got 3 people he can go to, so he basically gets whatever he wants. What he wants. But I always felt with my brother, he never really had that like dog, like that like drive. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know why?
That's dangerous.
Because he never had the struggle.
Yeah, too comfy. I'm not gonna sit there and say I had the biggest struggle. People go through way worse than I did. But I would just say when I was younger, it was just normal. He is like going on a holiday every year, and not just holiday. Like this is we're talking Mexico, Barbados.
Yeah, I see that.
He's been Dubai, all that stuff.
He's been Dubai at 12 already.
He's been Dubai already.
Yeah, he's been Dubai already.
If he wants trainers, he knows he can trainers. Whatever game console,
Christmas is lit,
Christmas is lit, birthdays is lit, everything is lit. So I feel like he don't have that drive in him. Whereas me, again, it was just normal. So. But I can't always blame it on that as well, because there are some people that do grow up in fairly privileged backgrounds that do have that dog in them, and other people that don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but he's my little brother in it, so I've got to teach him. So that's. And
in regards to all the gang stuff that happens, obviously you've probably got 1 or 2 friends who are maybe still involved in the road.
Yeah, more than 1 or 2.
Yeah, now my thing now is that you've separated yourself from that sort of industry.
Yeah.
And how much would you say?
Call it industry.
It's an industry. It's making money. There's people in it. It's established. It's been established for a while.
And I always make a point of saying that I'm not no role model.
What are you saying? P45s are getting handed in, boy.
Yeah.
So I don't ever sit here trying to pretend like I'm some saint.
Yeah.
I just knew when it was time to go home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at 19, once again, you've carved this lane for yourself. You've got all these incomes you've got. And you was mentioning, I was asking you, you said there's 6 or 7 things that you do to diversify your income. Then we was going to get to the part of you talking about what you're doing outside of fitness now.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're trying to go into out of fitness, or is fitness just the only lane you're in now?
No, so this next year is going to be me establishing some of my other, like my own brands. Because as much, I'm cool, I'm sponsored by these companies and the salaries are fairly good, you're not going to be sponsored forever. So that's the next thing, my own brands. And then aside from that, like I've been getting a lot more into where I'm actually going to be putting my money. So for me personally, my risk tolerance, what I like to do, stocks is looking like the way. I've got friends that, I was even talking to them about it yesterday, we're going to be starting with it. And then also just because I was always on the thing of, cool, I want to get a mortgage, but I've been looking at, and people are talking about in terms of like modern wealth creation methods, like mortgages and stuff are not necessarily the best way to go about it, just getting a house. So
it's got to be the right. Well, it's got to be the right one.
It's got to be the right. It's got to be the right one. It's also got to be the right time. Also got to be the right time. For me right now, I don't think I want to tie myself down just yet.
Okay. Are you still at home with your parents? Have you moved out already?
So I've still got my place up at uni.
Is that your student accommodation?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
But then right now I'm at home. I was been looking at places. I'm probably gonna move to Nottingham next year.
Okay.
But prior to that, I'm gonna travel a bit. So I'm gonna go Dubai for a couple months. I got my boys are there, and obviously for fitness, it's really good out there. And I want to do some more traveling, but it's looking like Nottingham is where I'm going to be for the next couple years. Because most of my friends are actually not back in London. Most of them go to uni, and most of them are in the Midlands. Like it's not Birmingham, it's Nottingham, it's Warwick. Do you know what I'm saying? All in the Midlands. So if I come back to London, actually, I wouldn't have that many friends down here.
Okay.
And also, I actually quite like Nottingham because it's really like a big like uni type city. There's 2 unis in obviously Nottingham and Nottingham Trent.
Where's Joe from?
Nottingham as well. So he's there. In terms of like getting stopped in the street and that, nowhere do I get stopped more than Nottingham. It seems like nowhere more than Nottingham. It's weird. You think it'd be London, but it's Nottingham.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nottingham just kind of seems like the place.
Yeah.
But for the next couple of years, I don't want to raise my kids in Nottingham, but I don't know if I'm going to raise them in London either. But yeah.
And how have you balanced? Because as I said, you're in a position now where you're earning good money. You've got very few responsibilities. How do you balance keeping disciplined and not going off track, especially with women?
You go back and forth. You go back and forth. You go through times and you get a little bit carried away. I don't
know how you're managing it, because if you make me be 19, yeah, fake good looking, okay,
wow.
Earning good.
Wait.
Out of the whole hour, yeah.
Wait.
Out of the whole hour, this is the first time he's reacted. Out of the whole hour, yeah.
That was the only one. That was the only one that was a bit left field.
Has he not seen me?
That was a little bit left field.
Do you see this face?
That was a little bit left field.
He looked back and went, has he not seen me?